Next up is Karen Pitsley. She's an architect. And one of the very large issues for the two-story homes in Howard County is, how the hell do I get up and down these stairs? How do I get in and on my house? Well, Karen's got some answers for you. Karen.
Thank you. I'm going to stand up so that when the time is up, Alice can just hook me. So I get to be the closer for today, so hopefully I don't stink as bad as the Orioles closer does. So I'm going to, because I have such an exciting topic here, taxes. So I'm going to give you statistics. Obviously, Dana talked earlier that in 2010, there's 45,000 aging, well, we're all aging, there's more than that, but there's 45,000 people in Howard County who are 65 and over. And in 2030, that number will nearly double. So if you look at the homes in Howard County, they're mostly two-story colonials, and again, you can't get to the second floor. And how do you age in a home that isn't set up to do that? So I'm going to give you an even more boring piece about taxes, the history of the Howard County tax credit. So the Howard County tax credit, I became an aging in place specialist in 2005. And at that point in time, I did some research about, okay, so now I got this certification, what am I going to do with it? How can I help everyone? And during my research, I found out that all these other states around us had this tax credit, and Maryland did not. So my office manager, who her mom was 93 at the time, and still with us, we worked together and we decided we're going to meet with Guy Gazzoni and figure out how we can make this tax credit in Maryland a real possibility. So we met with him, and not too long later, testified in Annapolis, and they passed the bill first go round. That was in 2006. In 2012, I worked with Jen Teresa and Calvin Ball to make that Howard County tax, and it took 6 long, grueling years for that to pass in Howard County, but Howard County is the first to have this livable tax credit. So what does this tax credit mean? What it means, next slide, please. So these are the features that are eligible for tax credits, and it is a property tax credit. If you make improvements to your home that qualify, which is, there's a list up here, no step front door entrance, 32 or wider interior doorway, you can read them, although the text should be bigger. If you make these improvements to your home, you can qualify for up to $2,500 on your property tax. And this can be, there's a $100,000 cap in Howard County every year. So if it happens that when you file, you kind of get down the list, it's carried over. So you will get the tax credit if you apply for it, no matter what. One of the things that I would tell you right off the bat is all of these things qualify for the tax credits, but you do not have to file for a permit for all of these if you're doing them in your home. If you are going to file for the tax credit, you must file for a permit, no matter how little the project is, because that is one of the criteria that is easily missed, and if you don't file for the permit, you won't qualify for the tax credit. In the trends in Howard County, these are the requirements for the tax credit here, and these are some pictures. This is a picture of a grab bar, and in your folders I put a little flyer and it says, grab bars don't have to be ugly. And this is a home, we do a lot of work for Bella McCree, and they house developmentally disabled adults, and so this is one of the homes that we've designed so it's completely accessible, the kitchen's accessible, there's a hidden handicap ramp going up to the front porch, and this is in communities that are like where we all live. But the trends in Howard County, based on our work, is, like I said, most are two-story colonials, and so what can you do about that? The Echo Boomers generation, which is something, actually, today was the first time I'd ever heard that. I've always heard the Oreo generation. the generation that is now caring for small children and for aging parents at the same time. One of the number one things I would tell you to do is plan for your own aging. And this can be done at any age, because day by day we get older. And 85% of us become disabled at some point in time in our lives. Whether that means I've had 2 knee surgeries, whether you become pregnant, whether you hurt your back and you just throw it out and you're disabled for a couple days. We all become disabled, and universal design does not have to be ugly. It can really be beautiful. You will not even notice a home that's universally designed if it's designed well. But that's one of the things I would tell you is create a plan of how you're going to age in your own home. There's a lot of design features you can put into your own home starting now that don't have to cost a whole lot of money, but in the future it will save you time and money later. Like installing blocking for grab bars. If you're renovating your bathroom, install the blocking now. It might cost you $100 to install that now, but if you need to install it at a later date, you either have to do some funky toggles and pray, or you install the blocking, and whenever you need to install that grab bar, it's really a couple screws and any family member can probably do it. The other easy solution, and then I say easy, I should say simple solution, is to design 2 closets that are stacking, that are 5 by 5. I guarantee you there's not one person in this room that says, oh, I have plenty of storage space. I could not use another closet if you gave me one. That never happens. If you design 2 stacked closets, that in the future can become an elevator shaft if that becomes necessary. Designing stairs that are slightly wider. Instead of the standard 36 inches, make it 42 inches. That way, if at any point in time a stair lift needs to be installed, it doesn't take up that valuable space. So there's a lot of different things you can do. Like I said, create a plan. Sit down with your family members. Sit down with your accountant, your financial planner, and sort of decide, I want to stay in my home. Because there's nobody that says, I can't wait to get to a nursing home. I guarantee you, everyone wants to stay in their home because it's your home. There's no place like home. So do your homework and think about what do you want to do, where do you want to be, and if the unforeseen happens, how are you going to prepare for that? Because you can do some preparation work now to move forward so that in the future, when that thing happens and you can no longer do stairs, you have that first floor master suite already in place. So I'm going to give you a couple examples of projects we've done in Howard County that is exactly the planning that I'm talking about. I have one client who, they own a 2-story colonial, just like a lot of other people, and they decided that their children are now grown and they now have grandchildren who are 2 and 3, and they decided that they were tired of doing stairs. They were still both working, but they were tired of doing stairs, so they built an in-law suite on the first floor. And we kind of expanded the dining room so they could walk through sort of a little hallway to this suite. And this suite has a little tiny kitchenette, a little screen porch that's private, a bedroom and a bathroom, a handicap compliant bathroom. And their goal is when their children are ready to move in with them, or as they said, when we're too old and decrepit to take care of ourselves, our children with their family and their grandchildren will move in the main house, and the parents will move into the in-law suite. But for now, they still have the whole house, and now they have a really cool new suite to live in. So the other side is when the children, the Oreo generation, decides to do a project, and Howard County does not have a lot of first floor master suites, and that is probably the #1 project that we do these days, is either redesigning a home so that it has a first floor master suite, or redesigning it and creating space for that future elevator. Because there are not a whole lot of options in Howard County, so that's our #1 project, is first floor in-law suite additions. So I said create a plan. I'm going to leave you with a quote. If you don't design your own life, chances are you'll fall into someone else's plan. And guess what they have planned for you? Not much. And that's Jim Rohn. So thank you.
Thank you, Karen.